Have you been inspired today?
Yes.
Ah, come on, people, you can better. Have you been really inspired today? But what are you going to do with this inspiration? Are you going to use it to develop yourself? It's good. Are you going to use it to influence your community, maybe your future? How are you going to share it with the other people? Maybe changing their life. You may say, I am just a normal person, I am one person, no budget, no time. Why shall I do it? Today, I will tell you one story. A story of TED inspiration that started 5 years ago when I saw for first time the great Swedish professor. It was the first TED talk I have seen ever in my life. You know, this professor, like creative one, like making data visualizing, circles getting bigger. I couldn't sleep at this day. I wanted to see more. I saw the Jill and her journey with stroke, and the blind Shena when she was talking about the art of choosing, or Simon when he was telling us about marketing, golden circle, and the great Sir Ken Robinson telling us about how school killing creativity. But the most inspiring one, the young African guy that showed us that it's possible to make windmill from scratch and generate few volts to create electricity. I had all these inspirations and much more. What was it good for? What shall I do with it? How can I use it? It took me 2 years to find the answer. When I visited for first time a TEDx event, it was in Rotterdam, similar to this place. I was sitting there listening to one of the speakers. He was suddenly, surprisingly actually, talking about his dream when he was young, going to Iraq, to Baghdad to study, because it was at this time the center of Arabic Islamic civilization. He was talking about the importance of knowledge. My God, it felt that he was speaking to me actually. I am the only Iraqi here. At this time, I was planning to move back to my home country and contributing in rebuilding this country, but I didn't know what shall I do, what shall I bring with me back to this injured country. I'm just a normal person, a father, having a great life in the Netherlands, wife, kids. What shall I do there? Shall I just sit and accept all this killing and bombing? No, I cannot do it. The solution for me was very easy, very simple. I will just focus on the positive side, because I believed it was always life behind all death, smiles behind all tears. This is what I wanted to focus on. In 2010, I applied for a license to organize a TEDx event in Iraq, in Baghdad. And I got a very, very long email. Tried to read it on my iPhone. I couldn't understand any word. My brain couldn't take it. I printed out. I felt how big it was. I felt how it could change my life. So in 2011, I introduced TEDx Baghdad online, and surprisingly, found a lot of people was sharing the same vision like me. I was not alone. They was sharing the tears. They were talking about how important this event was for Iraq, for their home country. But I didn't have any experiences with organizing event. I didn't have anything to do with events. So I started. I didn't give up. I started to learn and gain more experiences by co-organizing the first TEDx Youth in Amsterdam. And after a big success, it was time to go to Iraq and to do it there. I will not tell you about the security issues, lack of internet, electricity, even the location where we tried or where we had our event at was totally covered with the plastic. This was 10 days before our event. It was not even, this five-star hotel was not even open for public. So we opened it to host our event. Transporting people to our venue, to our location, was a big challenge. Many of you here just walked in, took a taxi, or just came by car or bike. We needed to transport 650 guests to our location with special security forces. But this community overcame all those challenges and made it happen. I didn't want there to organize an event, believe me. We wanted to make an impact. An example of that, one of our designers created a very simple design, an A4, where it says, keep Baghdad clean, keep your city clean. And we just posted on Facebook. It went like virus. People was publishing that everywhere, printing out and putting that everywhere. Hospitals, cars, taxis. Finding speakers was a very challenging task. So we created a group of young people and sent them out to schools, universities, even cafeterias. We called them TEDx Baghdad reporters. And we found many. Yes, surprisingly. Like this young Iraqi singer that never, ever could hold her guitar and walk on the streets because she became directly a target. She get the freedom to share her talent, music and songs with the whole world. And this Iraqi inventor that spent his whole life reinventing a blade full of holes that can generate more energy. And it is actually being tested now by a French pilot on a small plane. I still remember this moment when he finished and walked out. He told me that I am afraid to call home because I don't know if I will find my wife alive. Because at the same day when he was presenting, his wife was doing a cancer operation. She forced him to come because she said, do it for yourself, do it for our children, do it for our future. Another example, a young Iraqi guy that got only 3 minutes on stage to talk about the importance of having like a cultural day where we celebrate culture and history. Because of those 3 minutes, he could reopen the Iraqi museum that have been closed for 8 years and took a group of people that have never ever been in a museum there to see their history. Of course, we had smiles and we had tears, people that came back with me for first time home. We were so proud when people started to share their experience with us, to share their happy moments, celebrations. They gave us more energy to go from Baghdad to different cities. For example, the holy city of Karbala, a religion city, a very close city, where we gather a group of people and let them experience the power of sharing ideas. On northern Iraq, where we gather Kurdish Iraqi people with Arab people and worked one team, hand by hand. I still remember this day when we did the first live stream event. I pulled people to come to see this live stream, and I succeeded with gathering 6 people only. I thought at this time I will never ever make it. A year after that, our smaller event are totally sold out after a few days when we go live with them. All that happened because of very simple inspiration that could be turned to an action. I was so lucky to meet him, the guy that inspired me in April this year. And the magic just happened, and I believe it will never stop. I get the chance to share the same stage with him on TEDx Summit in Doha. A guy that inspired me 5 years ago. Oh my God, I'm standing on the same stage like him. And when you read these headlines, believe me, you get scared. I didn't plan all that. Never ever. Not even in my dreams. But I believed that me and my community could make change if we just take these inspirations and turn it to actions. So it is your turn today. What are you going to do with these inspirations that you have today? Thank you very much.